All right, let's get right into it. You've got three of the absolute biggest names in fintech. We're talking Circle, Robinhood, and Coinbase, and they're all making huge international moves at pretty much the exact same time. And get this, it's not some random coincidence. This is a coordinated push for that next big wave of global growth, and we're going to break down their entire playbook.
And honestly, that is the perfect way to think about this whole thing. These aren't just boring business expansions, they're tour stops. Each of these companies is basically playing to a brand new crowd, hoping they can find their next stadium-sized market. So yeah, grab your backstage pass because we're following the tour.
So here's our itinerary. First, we'll talk about why this whole world tour is even happening right now. Then we're going to hit our three main stops: Circle in Dubai, Robinhood over in Indonesia, and Coinbase making a comeback in India. And then we'll wrap it all up with a look at the big picture, the global playbook.
So what's the deal? Why is everybody packing their bags at the same time? Well, it's all a strategic grab for new markets, fresh talent, and frankly, a completely different kind of energy. The US market is getting kind of crowded, a little tight with regulations, so these giants are looking abroad for their next big hit. And our first stop takes us to Dubai with Circle.
First up on the tour, Circle. And you can kind of think of this move like their stablecoin, USDC, is going on a study abroad program to Dubai. You know, it's all about getting out of its home turf and getting some real-world experience.
And hey, just so we're all on the same page, what is USDC? It's what's called a stablecoin. It's a type of crypto that's pegged or tied to a stable asset. In this case, the good old US dollar. This is what brings some much-needed stability to the, let's be honest, pretty wild and volatile world of crypto.
So what's the actual play here? It's a classic win-win situation. Circle is partnering up with Bybit, which is a massive Dubai-based exchange. For Circle, this is huge. It gives them access to brand new international markets and, this is key, it means they're less dependent on their US partner, Coinbase. Meanwhile, what does Bybit get? A super stable asset for its traders and all the awesome tech infrastructure to make it work.
But really, this gets to the absolute heart of their ambition. Circle's goal isn't just to be another stablecoin. No way. They want USDC to be the universal standard. It's like they want it to become the USB port of crypto. You know, the one plug that just works everywhere, no matter the country, no matter the exchange. Wherever money is flowing around the globe, Circle wants to be the socket.
Okay, let's hop over to our next tour stop. We are heading to Indonesia with Robinhood. And for them, you got to think of this as less of an expansion and more like hitting New Game Plus in a video game. You know, where you restart the game but with all your experience, in a brand new, super high energy world.
So, you might be wondering, why Indonesia of all places? Well, that crazy retail trading frenzy we saw in the US a few years ago has really cooled down. Robinhood has basically maxed out the enthusiasm meter at home, so they're on the hunt for a new audience.
In this one single number, it explains almost everything. The median age in Indonesia is just 29. I mean, think about that. That means you've got a massive, young, incredibly tech-savvy population that is just now hitting its prime financial years. This is quite literally Robinhood's dream demographic.
And it just gets better for them. You've got a population of 270 million people who basically treat investing like a team sport. They are mobile first, they are super curious about finance, and they are comfortable with taking risks. It's like Robinhood found its perfect soulmate just on the other side of the world.
So, when you boil it all down, here's the deal. Robinhood is on a quest for energy. That raw retail enthusiasm that defined their entire rise in the US, well, that energy is now in markets like Indonesia, and Robinhood is trying to get there before its competitors do.
All right, for our final act, we've got Coinbase making a very cautious but very decisive return to India. Now, this isn't their first try at this, but this time, the whole strategy is different. You can think of it as a comeback tour with a whole new vibe.
So why go back, especially after hitting some regulatory walls before? Well, it seems Coinbase learned two very, very important lessons. First, India, with its massive population and deep, deep pool of tech talent, is just too important to ignore. You can't write it off. And second, they realized that even when the government makes things tricky, crypto adoption tends to just push forward anyway, driven by the developers and users on the ground.
And I just love this quote because it perfectly captures their new approach. There's no big swagger this time around. It's quieter, way more focused on compliance and partnerships.
They're showing up with a lot more humility, hoping to build real relationships instead of just launching a product from afar.
Okay, so we've visited all the stops on the tour. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the master plan, the global playbook that really connects all of these individual moves together.
So let's put it all together. You've got Circle, heading to Dubai with the goal of making USDC the universal standard. You've got Robinhood, going to Indonesia to find that next big wave of retail energy. And you have Coinbase, returning to India to secure future talent and long-term growth. 3 different companies, 3 different destinations, but all part of one shared goal: to dominate the future of global finance.
And that really leaves us with the big question. This world tour is just getting started. All 3 of these giants are making incredibly bold plays for the global stage. But as the competition really starts to heat up, the question you gotta ask is, who is ultimately going to emerge as the real headliner?